I think empathy really is like a spotlight. It zooms you in on people, and when it zooms you in on people, you're more likely to help them. I agree with that. But like a spotlight, we could point it in the wrong places. So it's subject to bias and myopia. And like a spotlight, it's insensitive to numbers. So it's innumerate and ultimately irrational. And one way to make this case, to kind of start off, is to think about the real world cases that have captured the imaginations of Americans, our interest, our focus, our concern. So some of us are old enough to remember all these girls that got stuck in wells. Girls would often get stuck in wells, and then the whole community would get together and they'd be on the front page of Time magazine as we try to get them out of the well. Some of us will remember Natalie Holloway, an attractive white girl who goes on vacation, I think in Aruba, and gets abducted and murdered. And most recently, and most affecting me, given where I live, there was the mass murder in Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. Now, I don't want to make light of any of these incidents. They're all extremely important, involving real death and real pain and suffering. But I'm not the first to notice that there's something strange in the focus we give to them. The psychologist Paul Slovic noticed that when Natalie Holloway went missing, there was 18 times more network coverage devoted to her than in the ongoing crisis in Darfur, which took the lives of tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people. Mass shootings like Sandy Hook are undeniably tragedies. But we tend to think of mass shootings as a huge problem. It turns out that mass shootings account for about 0.1% of US homicides. And what this means is if you could snap your fingers and make it so that there'd never be a mass shooting in America again, nobody would ever notice because it'd be indistinguishable from statistical noise. But it doesn't feel that way. And we see it in a lab as well. There are numerous experiments showing that you care more about one person than 8 people if your attention is drawn to the person as an individual. The same neuroscience studies that show empathic resonance in the brain show that empathy is extremely biased. Somebody like me is going to feel more empathy for the suffering of a white person than a black person, than a man, than a woman. All of us feel more empathy for people who are attractive than people who are ugly. And for those people who disgust us, we feel no empathy at all. Empathy is exquisitely sensitive to coalition and teamwork. There was a European study that tested male soccer fans. And so they put you up, and you're in the MRI machine, and you watch another man get shocked. And in one condition, you're told this man is a fan of the same soccer team that you support. And then you get this empathic response, the same parts of your brain, so your pain light up. In the other condition, you're told this man is a fan of the opposing soccer team. What you find is you get a drop in empathy, but parts of the brain associated with pleasure start to light up.